Yeah, how much solar costs is obviously the question everybody wants to know. And the variables, there are several variables. So to break it down to be a little more simple, number one is how much solar are you going to get? So just like anything, the more you get, the more it costs. If you go to the store and get one bag of apples, that's going to cost you a couple of dollars. If you get 3 bags of apples, it's going to cost you $6. So solar is the same way. And it's not based on the number of panels. That is related to it, but it's not exactly that. It's based on the number of watts you get. So you could have 10 200 watt panels, that's going to be a 2 kilowatt system. Or you could have 10 400 watt panels, still 10 panels either way, but it's a 4 kilowatt system as opposed to a 2 kilowatt. So that's why I say panels doesn't really matter. It's about the total wattage of the panels together. So 10 panels is unequivocal in different scenarios. So you really want to look at the total wattage. And the more wattage you get, the more it's going to cost because you're paying per watt. The more wattage you get, the more energy it will create. So how much solar costs largely comes down to how much energy do you want to create from it. The more energy you need, typically a bigger home or a less energy efficient home, you're going to use more energy, which means you need more solar, which is going to cost more. It's not based on square footage of the home. A lot of people, I did just mention larger homes, so that again, that weighs into it, but it's not necessarily about that. You get some smaller homes that are very inefficient. They've got insulation that was done 25 years ago. They've got a 25-year-old HVAC that uses a lot of energy and so on. So you could have a 1,500 square foot home that uses a ton of energy. Conversely, you could have a 4,500 square foot home that's new, everything's very energy efficient and so on, and that uses very little energy. So square footage of the home does weigh into it, but it's not really the main thing. It's really about how much energy you use, which could be influenced by a lot. Typically speaking, and again, it varies on the market and all sorts of things, but in the US, a good market value for a cash purchase, financed, is going to be a little different because most loans you're prepaying some of the interest, so you buy that down up front. So that aside, because that opens up a whole lot more variables, but that aside, if it's a cash purchase, on the low side, about $250 a watt. You can get lower sometimes. I'd be very skeptical of people selling lower than that because they're probably not going to be in business long. But on the low side, $250. On the high side, $310 to $320 a watt. That's $2.50 to $3.20 a watt. There are some companies selling a lot higher, and I'd be skeptical of that because what are you getting for that extra money you're paying? Different things that can influence the cost upwards would be a ground mount. Ground mounts cost more, there's more labor, there's more materials, more expensive materials. So ground mounts cost more than a roof mount. There are different levels in panels. For the most part, panels are fairly equivocal in quality with small variances, but you can get what's considered a premium quality panel that will cost more. Those degrade less, in other words, they produce more energy for longer. They might have better warranties on them. You might get a 25-year warranty on the parts and labor versus a 10 or a 12-year. So the premium quality panels cost a little more as well. And inverters, that's the other main component of a solar system, is the inverters that invert the current from DC to AC. So there are a few costs, a lot of different variables in the cost, but ultimately it's like how much solar do you need? That's determined by how much energy do you want to create. And then some material costs in there as well. But usually for cash, like I say, between $250 and $310 depending on per watt, depending on what it is you're wanting to achieve.